So this is the 5800 Wave. It's an indoor siren. It's just a plug-in siren that goes into any 120 volt outlet. And it actually has a battery backup as well. So if the customer's power goes out, they still have this external siren. And it's just meant to be a secondary siren that goes somewhere else in their house or business. Just so that it amplifies the siren to another place. So you just enter it in as a zone. And here's your serial number here, so you just enter the serial number in. And it's loop number 1. You can put device type as other and response type as day/night, which means during the day it'll send a trouble signal if it's unplugged or whatever. And then at night it'll send an alarm signal if something's up. And set it as supervised. So then all you have to do after we've entered that information is, in the manual, it'll show you how to set your dip switches, which is these 8 little switches here, to set the number for your house code. So by default, the RF house code is set to 31 in here. And what that means is if you go into system type in the programming menu, and you look at the RF house code, it's set to 31. So the reason you have a house code is so that if somebody else on the other side of the street has one of these, they're not going to get confused. It won't send an alarm through their outdoor or indoor siren. So once we set the house code to match what we put in the dip switches, we're ready to plug it in. Just to connect your battery, your speaker, and then you have 4 screws to place in here. And I'll show you guys what it looks like when we plug it in. We've reassembled our 5800 Wave, and so we put the 4 screws in. Normally how you would mount it is it's going to take up both of these outlets. You'd have to plug it in and mark where this magnet's going to go inside of these 2 notches here. And then that's where you're going to be screwing it to the wall. But for now we're just going to tape it on here and we'll just plug it in. So when it boots up, it's going to show you a green light and a yellow light. The yellow light will be there for about 15 seconds. If this red light comes on, it means that you've plugged it in too far away, or you haven't exited out of programming. So when you're checking to see the signal strength, you're going to have to exit out of your programming. So try to mount it about within 50 feet of where the panel is optimal. It does send an RF signal, so you should be able to use a 5800 RP repeater with it just to extend the range. But and then the other thing is, if you want to actually mount it a little bit more securely onto your outlet, you can take out the set screw from the outlet cover and use this, and this will go right in and can mount it, screw into the outlet itself. So that mounts it in a little more securely, makes it harder to pull it off. It'll give 3 different types of sirens depending on if it's a police, fire, or medical emergency. So when you're ready to test it, you can set the alarm off and listen to it go off. And if it goes off, then you know you've done it correctly. So that's how you install a 5800 Wave indoor siren.